Hello, everybody. Hassan here, engineer, MBA, and investor. And in today's video, I want to talk about Moderna's latest price action today. Huge decline, some latest news that came in. I want to talk about Moderna. I also want to give some thoughts as to how we can apply what we learned today with Moderna all the way to genome editing companies, and also make a parallels to what I sort of learned and listened to in today's podcast episode through a podcaster called Seven Investing. Now, about Moderna, we sort of covered this video in our Ginkgo Bioworks video a few days ago. If you guys remember, we made a video well over 30 minutes analyzing Ginkgo Bioworks. But most importantly, there was an episode, a podcast episode between the CEO of Ginkgo Bioworks that was really talking about Moderna, right? We know Ginkgo has a huge partnership with Moderna, but Moderna, he was talking about how Moderna is more than just a vaccine company, right? They're a platform, right? They're a platform of mRNA technologies, and they're not just licensing their technology to other companies to make revenues, future revenues from, but also they have 100% ownership of their own vaccine, and they will hopefully apply that to other type of drugs, other type of diseases, other type of pandemics, because we all know pandemics will happen. It's been happening for centuries, and it's definitely not going to stop with COVID 19, right? What if COVID 20 comes up, 21, 22, right? What if there's a sense of biosecurity needed, right? We talked about this in our video with Ginkgo Bioworks. So Moderna is definitely an interesting company. The reason why we don't cover so much Moderna here, although they've had a huge run up, especially since we started covering this space a few months ago in this channel, is because Moderna right now they are worth well over in the three digits $1 billion market cap, right? We'll take a look at the specific numbers, but today they drop well over 15%, in fact, almost 20%, right? 17%. And they dropped because several reasons, right? Well, first of all, they had a huge run up, right? A huge run up. Like in the last 2, 3 weeks, they've been going up and up and up. It makes sense. Institutions, retail investors, they want to take some profits off the table. And of course, you cause a mass sell off. Now, these mass sell offs are usually started by a catalyst, right? And this catalyst in this case was the EU regulators, right, in Europe. They actually decided to investigate further into the COVID 19 shots delivered by Moderna, right? And this is because there are some side effects linked possibly with Moderna. And this obviously has caused the EMA, which we've actually covered in this channel, this agency, they are involved with genome editing slash CRISPR companies. But anyways, going back to here, this topic, in the region itself, there's over 43.5 million doses of Moderna, so they have plenty of sample to go through. Its some side effects were already proven to be from these vaccines, but now it looks like there are some significant conditions that could be caused by Moderna vaccine. And again, we don't want to be negative in this channel. We don't want to promote negative information. All we do is promote information that is given through us public means. And it looks like there is some significant use case here for the EMA to look into this and to basically start an investigation to see if there is other significant side effects that are related to the Moderna vaccine shots, right? And side effects are going bound to happen, right, with any type of drug, especially when delivered to the masses, especially when it was delivered in such emergency that testing and QA was extremely limited, considering we were on the worst pandemic in well over 100 years. So it's totally understandable. But I think this news caused a lot of mass sell off, and it's completely understandable. Nothing too crazy here. Um, and if you take a look here today, closed at almost 16%, and it's been down well over a percent over after hours. Eh, If you do 5 days, it's still down 6%. But look, guys, if you do 1 month, the company is still up 61%, right? That's crazy. 61% in 1 month. There's absolutely no industry, no vertical that will yield to you an average of 61% return in 1 month. None. Okay, zero. It's not likely to happen, right? So to me, this is just a small decline, right? Yeah, it looks bad, 15, 17, 18%. But ultimately, if you step back, if you didn't hopefully buy it at literally deep peak, you're most likely, still in the green. You're most likely still able to take some profits if you do sell, obviously. Look at this. Pull out 6 months, 109%. Pull out 1 year, guys, 450%, right? So well over in the multiples, right? So I guess what I wanted to talk about, the fact this company is worth like $155 billion right now, is that in biotech, in genomics, in genome editing, this is the name of the game, right? It is long term. It is thinking about what is, the next 3, 5, 7 years looking like. What is the company positioning themselves? Are they a one trick pony type of company, or are they building some sort of revenue stream in the future that they can expand on, right? And Moderna is absolutely doing that. We've talked about it in a previous video. We just mentioned it earlier. The idea of building a platform is extremely powerful, extremely, I think it's very necessary for us to study them. And in fact, there was this podcast episode here from Seven Investing, and there was this gentleman here they brought over, one of the Seven Investing lead advisor, Max Chatsko, and Dan Klein, and they sort of spoke about genome editing, CRISPR, genomics, CRISPR stocks, and they sort of, the big takeaway I had in that episode was this is a long-term play, right? You're not looking to getting this space and tracking these companies day by day, what's going on, what are the numbers coming in like. That's not how you evaluate these companies. That's absolutely not how you're going to get further in your research with these types of verticals, these types of industries. What you do have to do though is understand what is their technology, what is the FDA approval landscape looking like, how is their data coming in, what are their programs, their pipeline, where are they at with their programs, what are the deals, what are their revenue streams, licensing deals, partnerships available, what is this leadership looking like. These are important topics, right? Although this episode did not actually talk about leaderships and execution, they did talk about the different technologies all the way from the first generation of CRISPR that CRISPR Therapeutics use, all the way to the revolutionary technologies that have been adopted by companies like Beam Therapeutics. And also they talked about Verve Therapeutics, how Verve Therapeutics are tackling a specific set of the industry that no other company right now is also tackling, and that is obviously the cardiovascular diseases. We covered this company when they went IPO in our channel, and obviously Verve has a deal with Beam Therapeutics to use their technology, since Beam Therapeutics hold a specific patent and thus can license their technology to a company like Verve. And also if Verve ends up going public, commercial with their CRISPR drug, they will also have to share the profits and sales with a company like Beam Therapeutics. So they talked about a little bit about this in the major applications, the administration routes, different in vivo versus ex vivo, all the approaches there. To me, this is what I think mRNA action today proved. This is what episode like 7 investing episode that I just talked about proved. It's all about long term, right? You want to see the story play out, research into it, look into companies that you can truly back. I had a great story yesterday, about how someone got involved because their grandmother died, right, because of a specific disease, right, and sickle cell disease in this case. And I think having these companies tackle this, you need more of these companies, right? Even the current CRISPR drugs companies, even if they're all FDA approved today, right, they will never be able to cover all cases in US alone when it comes to sickle cell disease, right? We haven't talked about beta thalassemia. We haven't talked about all the cases around the world, especially in less developed nation, in developing nations. So there's so much, in terms of TAM, total addressable market, is very vast, right? We need so many companies entering this space. Companies like Moderna, what they're doing right now with the mRNA vaccine, setting up their platform. We need more of these, right? We need more investors. We need bigger awareness, and we truly need to let time play its role, right? We can definitely not expect these types of technology to come to fruition within the next weeks or even months. This will take years, right? But that's part of the game. That's part of the game in And genomics, this is why news like this here, side effects, to me, these are little news, these are small news, these are blimps, these are just small blimps in the long term picture. If you step back, just like I said, the past year, the company's been modern, in this case, Moderna has been up well over 400%. And to me, this makes absolutely no sense to freak out after a single negative day, such as today. You want to step back, you want to think a long term, you want to remind yourself why invest in these types of company, whether that's Moderna, whether that's a different biotech companies. Doesn't have to be in CRISPR. It could be in the diagnostics tools types of company, could be in all sorts of company like sequencing, mapping. We talked about BNGO, we talked about Invitae. Invitae has been in their lows in recent times, so lots of opportunities there. But again, guys, just like what we talked about Caribou Biosciences, try to build conviction, try to research as much as you can and build that conviction so that when things are tough, you hold that company because you know why you originally got into the company, and fundamentals have not changed, leadership has not changed, the execution is still on plan, everything is still on plan. Just like how Beam Therapeutics yesterday we covered in their quarterly earnings report, regardless if Beam was up 4 or 5%. Yesterday was down 4 or 5%. They are on track to file their IND. Everything is on track. And to me, that's what I want to see. I want to see numbers. I want to see execution. And ultimately, I want to see the job get done. And that's what you should be striving for when you come to researching these types of companies in this space. So hopefully, guys, I helped you guys a little bit here. Just want to talk about Moderna. I want to talk about a little bit that Invest 7 Investing at podcast episode. Always step back, look at a bigger picture. If you like this video, guys, give this a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. Subscribe really helps this channel. If you haven't hit the notification bell, guys, subscribe for those notification bell. Our videos get to you faster. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully we'll see each other in hopefully a green day tomorrow. Thank you very much.